उत्तमम् देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 19, King Prithu's 100 horse sacrifices, text number 26 onwards. So previous verses we studied how King Prithu did 99 yagyas, Ashwamedh yagyas properly, but the last yagya, 100th yagya, Indra came and stole the horse 2 times. So first he stole, King Prithu's son went after him, but Indra took the form of a sannyasi and left the horse and disappeared. So King Prithu's son didn't kill him, but he brought the horse back. And now again, when they were doing the yagya, Indra came where the horse was tied and he just took the horse away and took the form of a sannyasi in a Kapalik way, non-Vaishnav way. But still, King Prithu's son hesitated in killing him. Let's see what happens now. Tadabhigyaya Bhagavan Prithu Prithu Parakramah Indraya Kupito Barnam Adattodhyat Karmakaha. Maharaj Prithu, who was celebrated as very powerful, immediately took up his bow and arrows and prepared to kill Indra himself because Indra had introduced such irregular sannyas orders. It is the duty of the king not to tolerate the introduction of any irreligious systems. King Prithu was an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Certainly his duty was to cut down all kinds of irreligious systems. Following in his footsteps, all heads of state should themselves be bona fide representatives of God and should cut down all irreligious systems. Unfortunately, they are cowards who declare a secular state. Such a mentality is a way of compromising religious and irreligious systems. But because of this, citizens are generally becoming uninterested in spiritual advancement. Thus, the situation deteriorates to such an extent that human society becomes hellish. So, Prabhupada is very heavy. Unfortunately, they are cowards who declare a secular state. So, secular state, it's like America. America is a secular country, actually. It's a Christian country. They believe in Christianity, the leaders and everybody, most of the people, but they don't force religion down the throat of anybody else. One can follow their religion. So this is in the right way. It's a secular state, and there is no appeasement of any minority or anybody, even Christians. There is no appeasement. But somehow in India it's been different story. It is people in the name of secularism, they're appeasing so many different groups. And also their idea is just somehow or other cling on to power. And some make money and have big bank balances with black money. This is not the right way. King Prithu was ready to kill. First he was ready to kill Earth because she was not following what she was supposed to do. Then he is ready to kill Indra. What nonsense you're doing. This is the right way to rule. Tamrit vijah shakravadhabi sanditam chaksha dushpreksham asayaram hasam nivaryam asuraho mahamate na yujate atrani avadha prachodita. When the priest and the others all others saw Maharaj Prithu very angry and prepared to kill Indra, they requested him, "O great soul, do not kill him, for only sacrificial animals can be killed in a sacrifice. Such are the directions given by Shastra." So they said only sacrificial animals can be killed in a sacrifice, not that we start killing Indra. Animal killing is intended for different purposes. It tests the proper pronunciation of Vedic mantras, and an animal being put into the sacrificial fire should come out with a new life. No one should ever be killed in a sacrifice meant for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. How then could Indra be killed when he is actually worshipped in the yajna and accepted as part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Therefore, the priests requested King Prithu not to kill him. So yajna is a very sacred place, and no bloodshed should happen other than the animals who were supposed to be sacrificed, not killed for meat eating, to enjoy the flesh, who were sacrificed, and immediately they would get either a human body or a young animal body. Vayam marutvantam iharthanashanam havayamahe pachravasa hatat visham ayatayamopahavaryanantaram prasya rajan juvam te ahitam. Dear King, Indra's powers are already reduced due to his attempt to impede the execution of your sacrifice. We shall call him by Vedic mantras, which were never before used, and certainly he will come. Thus, by the power of our mantra, we shall cast him into the fire, because he is your enemy. By chanting the Vedic mantras properly in a sacrifice, one can perform many wonderful things. In Kali Yuga, however, there are no qualified Brahmins who can chant the mantras properly. Consequently, no attempt should be made to perform such big sacrifices. In this age, the only sacrifice recommended is the Sankirtan movement. But just imagine, the Brahmins are saying, by our chanting of Vedic mantras, we will bring him. We can bring him here because his powers are reduced, because he has committed this offense against you. So the mantras, they were very, very powerful. And the chanters, the Brahmins, because they were pure, first of all, they would watch their livelihood, how they're living, day-to-day activities, and how they would chant the mantras. Just like Prithu Maharaj's father, Vena, was killed by these Brahmins by chanting mantras. They killed him. So powerful. Iti amantraya kritupatim vidurasya tvijorusha srugdhasta juvato abhetya swayambhu pratyashedhata. My dear Vidura, after giving the king this advice, a priest who had been engaged in performing the sacrifice called for Indra, the king of heaven, in a mood of great anger. When they were just ready to put the oblation in fire, Lord Brahma appeared on the scene and forbade them to start the sacrifice. So now all the great personalities are going to start coming. So they had called for Indra, and they were going to sacrifice him. Actually, they were going to put him in the fire, kill him. And then Brahmaji appeared, and he said, "No, don't do that. You're going to disrupt the whole system of government. Na vadhya bhavatam indro yad yasho bhagvat tanuh yam jighansat yagena yasyeshtastanvaha suraha." Lord Brahma addressed them this: "My dear sacrificial performers, you cannot kill Indra, the king of heaven. It's not your duty. You should know that Indra is as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Indeed, he is one of the most powerful assistants of the Personality of Godhead. You are trying to satisfy all the demigods by the performance of this yajna. But you should know that all these demigods are but parts and parcels of Indra, the king of heaven. How then can you kill him in this great sacrifice? So Indra being part and parcel, or Brahma is saying he's as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You cannot kill him. Tadidam pashyat mahad dharma vyatikaram dvijah indrena anushtitam ragya karma tad vijighansatah. In order to make trouble and impede the performance of King Prithu's great sacrifice, King Indra has adopted some means that in the future will destroy the clear path of religious life. I draw your attention to this fact. If you oppose him any further, he will further misuse his power and introduce many other irreligious systems. So Indra is not an ordinary person. He's a very, very powerful being. And yes, he has introduced something irreligious right now, Brahmaji is saying, but he can misuse his power further. Prithu kirte prithur bhuyat tarye ko na krituhu alam te kritubhe srishtar yad bhavan moksha dharmavit. Let there be only 99 sacrificial performances for Maharaj Prithu, Lord Brahma concluded. Lord Brahma then turned towards Maharaj Prithu and informed him then that since he was thoroughly aware of the path of liberation, what was the use in performing more sacrifices? Lord Brahma came down to pacify King Prithu regarding his continual performance of 100 sacrifices. King Prithu was determined to perform 100 sacrifices, and King Indra took this very seriously because Indra himself was known as a performer of 100 sacrifices. Just as it is the nature of all the living entities within this material world to become envious of their competitors, King Indra, although king of heaven, was also envious of King Prithu and therefore wanted to stop him from performing 100 sacrifices. Actually, there was great competition, and King Indra, to satisfy his senses, began to invent so many irreligious systems to obstruct King Prithu. To stop these irreligious inventions, Lord Brahma personally appeared in the sacrificial arena. As far as Maharaj Prithu was concerned, he was a great devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, it was not necessary for him to perform the prescribed Vedic ritualistic ceremonies. Such ceremonies are known as karma, and there is no need for a devotee in the transcendental position to execute them. As the ideal king, however, it was King Prithu's duty to perform sacrifices. A compromise was therefore to be worked out. By the blessings of Lord Brahma, King Prithu would become more famous than King Indra. Thus, Prithu's determination to perform 100 sacrifices was indirectly fulfilled by the blessings of Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma just found a solution to this problem, that Indra didn't want the 100th sacrifice to happen. So Lord Brahma said, okay, King Prithu, you did 99 sacrifices, so let's stop it here. And you will get all the blessings. Basically, for a devotee, he doesn't need to perform these sacrifices. Only thing is concerned with pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And now, if by doing 99 sacrifices, King Prithu can please Lord Brahma and Lord Vishnu also, what's the big deal about performing the 100th? So it's not the performance of sacrifice, it's the pleasing the Lord that is more important. And King Prithu had already pleased Lord Brahma by his not killing Indra. Nevat mane mahendraya rosham ahartum arhasi ubhavapihi bhadram te uttam shlok vigraho. Lord Brahma continued, let there be good fortune to both of you, for you and King Indra are both part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, you should not be angry with King Indra, who is non-different from you. Ma'asmin Maharaj kritasma chintam nishamyam smad vach adritatma yadhyayato devahatam na kartum manvati rushtam vishte tamondham. My dear king, do not be agitated and anxious because your sacrifices have not been properly executed due to providential impediments. Kindly take my words with great respect. We should always remember that if something happens by providential arrangement, we should not be very sorry. The more we try to rectify such reversals, the more we enter into the darkest region of materialistic thought. Sometimes a saintly or very religious persons also have to meet with reversals in life. Such incidents should be taken as providential, although there may be sufficient cause for being unhappy. One should avoid counteracting such reversals, for the more we become implicated in rectifying such reversals, the more we enter into the darkest regions of material anxiety. Lord Krishna has also advised us in this connection. We should tolerate things instead of becoming agitated. So very, very important instruction for all of us. Of course, we are not doing Ashwamedh Yajna, but in our lives, in our devotional life, material life, marital life, with relatives, with neighbors, so many places, there will be many, many reversals. Means that things won't go as we plan, or there'll be too many things against us. So Prabhupada is saying, so one should avoid counteracting such reversals. So best way is to remain defensive, not offensive. Even in 10th canto, Lord Brahma himself says, Tatyanukampam susamikshmana bhunjane vatma kritama vipakam. Means a person who's undergoing some negativity, so things happening against him, should think that this is by my some karma that is coming back to me. And even while suffering the reactions, if he still pays obeisances or does his services by mind, body, and words, he is fit for liberation. See, our ultimate goal is liberation in the sense, to go back home, back to Godhead, that kind of liberation, not merging in Brahm Jyoti. So if any reversals in so-called reversals in life, if we just take it that it's also mercy of Krishna, it's all mercy of Krishna, it's all orchestrated by Krishna, mercy of Krishna, and it is for my betterment. And we continue with our services. Maybe if there is problem in serving with others, we continue with the services at home. And the best service that nobody, until we want to give up, nobody can take away the best service, which is chanting of the holy name. Nobody can take it away from us. So, regardless of whatever the situation be, if we continue on, carry on with our chanting, and maybe increase our chanting, definitely, Krishna's expansions, incarnations, Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Parampara, Acharyas, everybody will bestow their mercy upon us. It's not like they're happy seeing us in some difficult situation. They're happy seeing us how we carry on with the devotion. So, and they carry on with more enthusiasm and more eagerness and more determination. That is what pleases them. There is a bhajan about Shad Goswami Ashtakam, and Srinivas Acharya has written that. Shri Rup Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath, Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath, Ichhaye Gosai Kari Charana Vandan, Yaha Haite Vigna Nash Abhishta Puran. So one who just remembers six Goswamis and does Charan Vandan, worships them, worships their lotus feet, Taha Haite Vigna Nash, they can remove all the obstacles. It's not like only Ganesha, Lord Ganesha removes obstacles. Shad Goswamis can remove the obstacles. Taha ite Vignanash. Abhishta Puran, they can give you the Abhishta, whatever we are desiring in life. Krishna Prem, they can deliver. This is how powerful six Goswamis are. They're not just six mendicants. They were living in Vrindavan and writing books. No, they're very, very powerful personalities. Srila Prabhupada, so powerful. Because Prabhupada we can relate to. At least we haven't seen him, we haven't talked to him, but at least we are reading his books and we have heard of so much about him. We can worship him in a temple and we can hear more about him. Prabhupada can also remove all the obstacles in the life of a devotee. All the obstacles in devotional service. Otherwise also, but we don't approach Prabhupada for that. Only thing we have to have faith in Prabhupada and approach him with that. So he can also remove. But if we approach him, that Prabhupada, okay, this terrible situation is there in my life. Please bless me so I can continue on, carry on with my devotional service, especially chanting and reading and hearing. Prabhupada can definitely grant us that benediction. Definitely. No doubt about it. So this is what Prabhupada is writing. We should tolerate things instead of becoming agitated. And what happens if we become agitated or we are in anxiety or we are in a revengeful mood or in a retaliation mood? It's bad for us. It's very bad for us physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially also. In every way, it's going to ruin us. More anxiety, more stress, thinking about some incidents, talking to others about those incidents, it will only create more diseases in our body. Stress is the main cause of all the diseases, or every disease comes from stress. So first it will create diseases in our body. We lose our peace of mind. When peace of mind is not there, then our relationships, they can get affected. Mental equilibrium gets affected. Financially, because if health is lost, we have to spend so much of money to recover health and we cannot recover it 100%. And then spiritually also, if we cannot concentrate on our sadhana, and then on top of it, we might commit offenses against some devotees. And also, unless and until a devotee we confide in and we talk to and we want to seek guidance from, unless until he or she is on a very high spiritual platform, that can also backfire. In the sense, in the sense maybe he or she will give wrong advice, because not wrong advice in the sense that something they will intentionally want to hurt us, but they will give advice according to their level of consciousness, which might not be very good advice. And then secondly, even if no advice, when we go talk negatively about somebody to a third person, if third person says yes, that person was wrong and you are right, what is it going to do to us? It's going to only increase negativity in us. That's all. It's not going to solve the problem. So we went to share our problems, but came back with more negativity in us. So what's the real benefit of that? So sharing our problems is also, we have to make sure that person we share with, first of all, he's not going to put it on WhatsApp and Facebook the next day. And then secondly, we should seek advice what to do. Not just go and talk and come back and again be more negative. So that's why Prabhupada is saying tolerate. Krishna also says that in Bhagavad Gita, tolerate. Sometimes people say, oh, if you keep it inside, it will bother you and burn you and can create lots of problems. Yes, it can. So that is why spiritual practices are there. We have to carry on with our devotional service. Having faith in Prabhupada and Prabhupada's books, Krishna, chanting, have full faith in that. And if you want to talk to somebody who's very, very senior and very advanced, and if we are ready to follow the guidance. Then we should disclose our mind to somebody else. Otherwise, it will only create more negativity in us. Nothing else will happen. So King Prithu, he pleased Lord Brahma by not killing, and he would just tolerate the things what King Indra did. And he'll get the blessings. So many blessings he will get by doing this. So we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, these 100 horses sacrifice, what type of sacrifice was it?
It's called Ashwamedh Yagya. Yes, in the end, when the horse comes back, they would kill the horse, so sacrifice the horse. But immediately, the soul inside the horse's body, either he will get a human form or a new horse body. Immediately.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I guess we can stop here. You all have a wonderful and safe day. Hare Krishna.